Chris, is the motivation here that you need money for Substack, or you're thinking about audience development?
The main motivation here is we've been building this subscription network. This year, we've seen it really start to take off. We've seen the power of the network kick in. We've seen people growing from, as more and more people join the platform, the people who join are creating a lot of the value. And we wanted to create an opportunity for them to become investors.
Caroline, I think the other thing that we're conscious of here is the reputation of the people that are posting through Substack. Right? I mentioned Social Capital and Chamath Palihapitiya. They made an active choice to put their annual performance of their fund on Substack rather than other methods.
Yeah, Chris, clearly you're winning subscribers, writers as well. What is it, 35 million active subscribers? I'm interested in, therefore, what's the uptake? How many have said, yeah, we want to not only write for you or consume via you, but invest in you too?
Honestly, we've been blown away by the response so far. I actually can't talk about it too much here. You have to go to the WeFunder page to look at what's there. But we've been very pleasantly surprised by both, the sort of quantity of the response and also just the tenor of it. We've had a lot of people come out and talk about why they believe in Substack, why they think this thing is important for the world. I loved seeing that 12% graphic at the start of the thing, the 12 smartest percent. It feels like this thing is really going.
But what about
we've been blown away.
The questions that are being asked of you, though, Chris? More transparency. There's always, I've been there reporting on when the bond market started to open up to retail investors in the UK, and everyone said, well, it's because they can get money more cheaply. Basically, the investor isn't as institutionalized and therefore doesn't ask some of the more nuanced questions. What are you saying in terms of, I want to know your costs, I want to know your revenue at Substack?
Totally. And, the fact of the matter is Substack is a private company in a very competitive market. And a lot of the writers, the people on Substack, are not just members of the public, but a lot of them are reporters themselves. A lot of them are people that cover the industry. And so we've had to think of everything we release as becoming public. So we've been pretty thoughtful about how we've done that. We've been, stuck to releasing everything that we need to release as part of the Reg CF. Other than that, we haven't shared a ton. And the pitch that I've been making to people is really like, hey, investing in startups in general, any startup, even a great startup like Substack, is a risky proposition. You can lose your whole investment. It's not a thing to do sort of lightly or with money that you don't want to make up. I've been giving a little bit of a kind of an anti-sell for folks on that front. I want people to come if it's something that they want to be a part of, if it's something that they're seeing the benefits of and they believe in.
Yes.
But we're not trying to make it, it's not an appeal. I'm not trying to be Bernie Sanders here saying, please give us your money. This is an opportunity to be part of this thing if you want to.
Well, Chris, look, an investor's risk appetite is often driven by data. There is some data out there. Reportedly, you did $9 million of revenue in 2021. How did you do in 2022?
Better, but I won't talk about it.
Oh, come on. Give us a sense of size of scope. You're trying to appeal to investors here, and you talked about the need to be transparent, have public-facing data. Just explain to us the health of the business. How did it grow in 2022? We've gone over the numbers about growth on the subscriber base. How did that translate to performance for the business?
So we had about 35 million active subscriptions now. We're at 2 million paid subscriptions. And the top 10 publishers on Substack combined to make $25 million a year. Those are the numbers we're sharing.
If you could have raised through VC, Chris, would you have done? Sorry, I missed that. Go ahead. Yeah, would you have fundraised through venture capital if it had been there last year, this year? I know that you're saying this is sort of this perfect way of building your momentum, getting people to come on board and invest. But if venture capital was still awash with cash, if we hadn't had interest rates rise, would you have raised with VC if the money had been there and the checks were easier to be written? I
understand. The way that we've been thinking about this is we have sort of tuned the business not to rely on outside capital, given the state of the market. So we're in a place where we have a path to doing the mission we set out to do, kind of regardless of what's going on in the market, whether there's further outside investment, any of those things. The way that I look at this is we can be a little bit, work with the situation that exists in the market. If there's opportunities to get more money on favorable terms, I think there's ways that we could use that to accelerate. But also, we don't need it. I mean, this is a business that fundamentally works, and we have a path to building it with what we have.
Chris, we started this segment talking about where people are going for their news. Us, Bloomberg Technology, social media, Substack. I think you're working on Substack Notes, which to many seems to be an attempt to offer something similar to Twitter.
The way I think of this is that I think the era of the social network, as we know it, is ending. I think that a lot of the online media platforms, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, are sort of pulling in this one direction, right? The ad-supported business model is kind of forcing everyone to turn into TikTok that's in that world. And I think it creates this huge opportunity in a different direction that's not about kind of like grabbing eyeballs and attention at all costs, but instead is about making things that people deeply value, letting people connect to things they trust. So I think all of online media is basically either going to have to turn into TikTok or it's going to have to turn into Substack in the next little bit. And Substack Notes is sort of our play to bring the easy sort of sharing, the short form, the ability to recommend anything to the subscription network that is Substack. And we're tremendously excited about it.